Hello viewers, welcome to Kids Auto and Truck Repair. We are back on this Ford Ranger. We're gonna make part 2. We're gonna replace the wheel bearing. Actually, when I got the wheel bearings from the store, I realized that wheel speed sensors are part of the wheel bearing. So I'm sure once we replace the wheel bearings, the front wheel bearings on this truck is gonna be fixed and the ABS light will go off on the dash. Now, before we do the work, I want to introduce you guys to the newest member of our team, Mr. Robin.
Thank you.
Robin, thanks for being here.
I'm welcome.
Robin joined our team. How long has it been?
About a week now.
About a week, yeah. So Robin has been here for a week. He reached out to me a while ago about getting a job here. And, we went back and forth. And actually, before we continue, I want to thank every one of you that have been reaching out to get a job here. It's been fun. I had so many candidates, but I decided going with Robin because I just like the vibe. Robin is so funny. He's a great dude. And he's been here, like we're having fun together. Like the first time we met, the connection was just so instant that I was like, you know what? I'm gonna work with this guy. Now, to those of you that I haven't, I wish I could hire all of you guys because I've had I think like 15 people reach out because they like the way we do things in the shop and they want to come get a job here. But as we're continuing to grow, we're going to get a bigger shop, we would definitely grow the team and we're going to give more of you an opportunity to come and work here. So, keep sending me emails. If I didn't call you, if I didn't reply to your email, if I didn't give you the job yet, just keep waiting. You might be the next one in line. So, Robin, I want you to tell us a little bit about how you found out about our shop and about me. So tell us how you found us.
How I find you is on YouTube.
Okay.
I was become a subscriber and I saw your video and I saw the way how you dealt with stuff and I said to my wife, I'm gonna work with this guy.
Nice.
And we keep talking back and forth.
Yeah.
So
you liked the video and then you were like, I need to go talk to this guy.
Absolutely, because how you do stuff is how I want to do stuff.
Nice.
How the new technology is what I want to learn, is when I'm gonna do it.
Okay.
And you're doing it how I want to do it.
Nice, awesome. Now that you've been here for a week, so what do you think?
It's mind blowing.
It's mind blowing?
It's mind blowing from where I'm coming from. It's totally different.
Oh, really?
And everything it's not cars, it's trucks, it's diesels, gas, it's a lot.
So, by the way, Robin was working at a shop. Actually, when he reached out to me, he told me, Dio, I'm working at a shop, but I'm willing to quit here so I can come work for you. So, I was like, okay, cool. So he came here. I told him, I don't specialize in one specific make and model, although I tend to work on a lot of sprinters. But if you come work here, you're going to work on a lot of stuff. Diesel, gas, you have to do electrical, electronic work, you have to do mechanical. Yeah, so tell us a little bit more because it's been a week, Is it too much? Is it boring?
No, it's fun. It's fun. Absolutely, it's fun. It's challenging to me. It takes me to my comfort zone, different from working on Volkswagen and Audi.
Yeah.
And BMW. So now I'm working on American cars and Sprinter vans and these is like, oh my God, it's a different world.
It's a different world, yes.
It's fun.
Yes,
fun.
yeah.
Fun.
And that's how I like it, though. I think I've mentioned this in here on the channel. I like to work on so many makes and models because it's more challenging and it's a lot more fun. Yeah. Actually, Robin, at the shop he used to work at, he worked on a lot of Audis and BMWs and Volkswagen. So he will probably be our Euro guy, okay, when it comes to Audi. And he's really great, actually. We've worked here for a week. And I can tell you, I love working with you. You're very knowledgeable.
Same here.
You're good. You're good. And I can't wait for what else we're going to do in the future. So welcome to the team. Thanks for being here.
All right,
okay, so now I am going to remove the tire. Robin, we're going to do this work over here on this Ranger on jack stands because we're packed. The lifts are all taken. Robin is working on his Dodge Grand Caravan. We have a Hummer over there on that lift. We have, guys, we're looking for a bigger shop. So if you know a bigger shop that's for sale or that's being leased out here in Maryland or in the Frederick area, please let us know. I'm going to tell you a secret. Help us find a big shop, okay? So we're looking for a bigger shop because you know, you guys have been so awesome to us. You're bringing business to us. You're bringing cars to us. But we need a bigger facility so we can take care of everybody and so we can grow our team. So help us find a bigger shop. So with that being said, I'm going to remove the tire. I'm going to remove the tire on the driver's side. I'm going to do the wheel bearing on the driver's side. And then, Robin, if you're done with this, you can help me.
Okay.
Maybe you can do the other side so we can get this done really fast.
No problem.
And then after that, we're going to move on to the next vehicle. So now, let's get the tire removed. So let's take the tire off. Actually, before I take off the tire, I want to give a shout out to the man behind the camera, our cameraman Kyler. Cameraman Kyler, thanks for being here. Thank you for the awesome work you're doing. So we appreciate you, Kyler. All right. So here comes our tire. I'm just gonna put it over here out of the way. Oh, I believe this thing is, it's gonna need, let me see. Let me get my flashlight. The brakes on this one are not good. This is gonna need brakes too. Huh. Yeah. These brakes also have to be done. Kyler, if you can come close here. Look at the friction surface here on the disc. So this side is more worn out than this side over here. I mean, you can see how discolored this surface is. And then if you come over here, I don't know if you can see the pad right there. You can see how thin the pad is. Yeah. All right. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna call the customer. I'm gonna let the customer know about the brakes. While we remove this, we might as well do the brakes too. Hopefully he's gonna give us the go-ahead to do that. He already gave us the go-ahead to replace the bearings, but you know, this clearly needs brakes. So I'm going to actually, let me see if I can call him right now, and then if he picks up, we can have you guys, you know, listen to our conversation. Okay, so let's see if he's gonna pick up. Hello, good morning, Jose. How are you?
Hey, Dale, how are you, man? I forgot
No. I can't. We are working on your car, so I was waiting for the parts. I got all the parts today,
Yeah.
and I was getting ready to do it. And of course, like I told you, we're filming the whole thing, and even this
that's right.
this conversation is being filmed too. So when I took the tire off, I also realized that you need brakes.
Yes.
So, yeah. So the rotors, front rotors, are completely discolored. Your pads are thin, so you're gonna need rotors and pads.
Okay, buddy.
It's okay. So I'm gonna add that to the estimate. I will send it to you so you can approve it. I'm gonna start taking everything apart because I already have the bearings and all the fluids that you authorized last time. But I will get the rotors and the pads so we can also replace that.
No problem, brother.
Okay, I will do it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, buddy.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, so as you can see, we got the go-ahead from our customer. I'm gonna show you the bearings that we received. So here is the bearing that we're gonna install. This is the part number. Let me show you the new bearing. We got our bearing from Napa. Now this wheel bearing comes with the sensor. So here is the wheel speed sensor. So remember, we had the sensor circuit fault, so we don't have to worry about that. And I'm sure after we replace this bearing, we're going to have that sensor code fixed. I'm sure it's going to take care of that sensor code as well. So since Josue told us to go ahead and do the brakes too, because we had to remove the rotors and the pads to remove the bearing. So I'm going to call the store. I'm going to get our rotors and pads for this truck, and then I'll bring you guys back up so we can replace the wheel bearing. So I did call the parts store. We have brake pads and rotors coming. So now we can start tearing this stuff down. So I'm gonna remove this axle nut first. Okay, very good. Okay, so we can push our axle back, and then I'm gonna turn the steering knuckle all the way this way. I'm going to pry the caliper pistons. Okay, so we're gonna pry the caliper towards me so we can retract our caliper pistons. Now you have to be careful as you do this, because you don't wanna, you can accidentally crack the caliper piston this way. So you have to make sure you are prying the caliper pistons evenly. Okay, so as you can see, our caliper can now slide in and out easily. So this tells me that our caliper pins are not stuck and our caliper pistons are not frozen. So that's good. So now let's remove the caliper. So now we're gonna undo this caliper bolt up here, and then I'm gonna undo this one. Okay, so we got our caliper bolts removed, just like that, easy peasy. Now we don't want to let the caliper hang on its hose, so I'm going to use this bungee cord, and we're gonna hang our caliper up here. We're just gonna hang it over here on the control arm. Just like that. Nice. So now we're gonna remove our pads. Okay, look how worn out these pads are. Okay. And then we're gonna undo the caliper bracket bolt. So we're gonna undo these two bolts, and I believe these bolts are 15mm bolts. Yeah, so just like that. Let me grab my breaker bar. Okay, we're gonna undo this one here. Man, this is tight. And then we're gonna undo this one here. Okay, here comes our first caliper bracket bolt. We're gonna remove the second one. Here's the second one. So now we can remove our caliper bracket. Okay. So now our brake rotor should come out. Now before I remove the rotor, while we are back here, we can undo this bolt. Okay, we have this one and then this one. These are the bolts that hold the wheel bearing on the steering knuckle, and these are 15mm bolts too. Okay, we're gonna have to use a deep socket for these guys, just like that right there. Okay, so we have two on this side, and then we have two more on the other side. So I'm going to undo these ones here. Okay, we got that one cracked loose, and then we're gonna undo this one here. Just like that. Perfect. Nice, easy peasy. Okay, so here comes our first bearing bolt. And then we're gonna remove the second one. Nice. Oops, I dropped it. Where did it go? Right here. Here's our second bearing bolt. So now let's remove the rotor. All right, I'm gonna twist the steering knuckle this way, all the way. And then we're gonna remove our brake rotor. Yeah, look how rusty and dark this friction material looks. The rotor is really rusty. Okay, actually this wheel bearing has 3 bolts. I thought it had 4, but it has 3. So there's one more over here. So cameraman Kyler, I don't know if you can see this bolt, this guy over here. So we're gonna undo that one. There we go. Now all these bolts are all the same length. Okay, so it doesn't matter which one goes where. So now we're going to undo the sensor wiring. Okay. And then this guy here. Oh, someone zip tied this piece. We're gonna have to undo the zip ties so we can get to the sensor connector. So I'm gonna grab a cut-off pliers so we can cut these zip ties. So I'm gonna undo this. There's a little 8mm bolt over here that holds the sensor wiring on the steering knuckle. So I'm gonna undo this tiny little bolt. Here it is. Okay, so as you can see, now the sensor wiring is pretty much just dangling here. Now I'm gonna undo these zip ties. Where does this thing go? It goes all the way up here. Jeez. So we're gonna undo this little plastic bracket here. Okay. And then you guys won't be able to see, but the sensor is connected somewhere here. Okay. I don't know, Kyler, can you see this connector? Yeah, the sensor is connected right there. So I'm gonna disconnect it just like that. Perfect. So now we got the sensor disconnected. We got the bearing bolt undone. So now our wheel bearing should be able to come out. But before we do that, I would like to, actually we don't have to remove this splash shield. So I'm gonna get a hammer so we can tap the bearing out. All right, so I got my hammer here. Let's see if we can tap this bearing out. But if it's hard to remove, we're gonna have to get a sliding hammer for this. Look, this is your problem. Kyler, cameraman Kyler is laughing. This is what, remember when we were test driving this? Yeah, this is what you felt, buddy. Okay. I might have to use a. Let me see. I might have to use an air hammer for this because it's so rusty. Okay, I'll get my air hammer. I'll be right back. All right, so we're gonna use our air hammer here. So let's see. Man, the rust. There we go. Nice. Just like butter. There. You gotta love it. Air hammer. All right, so here comes our wheel bearing. Check this out. Yeah, so, oh, look at this. You see how much play we have? I mean, you guys could tell that the bearing is completely worn out. Okay. Very bad. This is stinking. Bad bearing. All right. So now, cameraman Kyler, what do you think? You think we found the problem? Are you ever gonna figure out your signature move? I think Matt's is kind of easy. You know, it's like he just shakes the camera. All right, so now that we got the bearing removed, we're going to clean off this bearing seat or bearing journal. So I'm gonna use my wire brush. We're gonna get all this rust out here. We're gonna clean this as much as we can before we install our brand new wheel bearing. And I don't know if I mentioned this last time, we are replacing both bearings. We're not just replacing the one on the driver's side, we are replacing the one on the passenger side as well. And the rotors and the pads on both sides will be replaced. That one, yes. Okay. You can use that, yeah. All right, so that's good enough. I'm just tapping off these little rust spots, because these little spots over here can prevent the bearing from sitting well. Nice. We're gonna put this drain container under here. We're gonna use some brake clean to clean off this surface here. Very nice. All right. So now we're gonna install our brand new wheel bearing. Before we install the bearing, I'm going to lube the bearing seat over here. Now all these bearings are both the same, left and right. So they're both the same part number, so it doesn't matter which one goes where. Now, the sensor face is up. So when we install this, we have to make sure that the wheel speed sensor is going to face up like this. You know, I was telling cameraman Kyler that I don't like how I have, oh, dang. This is what you get when you work and talk at the same time. I was telling cameraman Kyler that I don't like how I have all these tools on the floor, but we're doing this on jack stands, so slow down with the criticism. So we're gonna go like this. Okay, so I made sure that my axle is completely engaged in the bearings, and then the wire is gonna go back this way. Okay, just like that. And now, oh, our parts guy here. That's good. We just received our parts from Napa. That was pretty quick. So I'm cleaning our bearing bolts before we install them. Thanks, Robin. Awesome. Okay, so we're gonna put a little bit of boom boom sauce here. Okay, so now I'm gonna get these bolts started. So I'm putting the bearing bolts back on. So at this point, I'm making sure that everything is lined up and the bolts are starting by hand first before we torque them down. So we're gonna get these bolts snug, okay? And then there's another one on the other side. Just picture the other bolt over here. And then there's another one up here. Okay, so now we're gonna torque these bolts. The torque spec for the bearing bolts is 85 foot-pound. So I'm gonna set my torque wrench to 85. So I'm setting my torque wrench to 85 foot-pound. All right, so we're gonna torque the first bolt here. Right there. I hope you can hear the torque wrench click. So that's torqued. Now we're gonna torque the other one here. Right there. All right, so we got both of them torqued. I'm gonna torque the other one over here. You guys won't see it, but you'll hear the torque wrench click. Right there. Nice. I hope you heard the torque wrench click. So we're good to go. All right, we have installed our new wheel bearing. We torqued the bolts. Before we install the brake rotor and the caliper bracket, we're gonna prep our caliper bracket. So I'm going to remove this pad spring. We're gonna clean this off. We're gonna clean this as much as we can. It would have been nice if we had some a sand blaster to clean this very well, but maybe in the future, okay? That's one thing I would like to get, because it cleans parts very well. But for now, we have to use what we have. Okay. And then we're gonna clean our caliper pins. the back. So we're gonna clean the hole of the caliper pin. We're gonna wipe the pin down. And then we're gonna use this Silk Glide over here. We're gonna apply. Okay, oops. So this is what I'm using, guys. Silk Glide. Just gonna apply some. I like to call it boom boom sauce. I'm gonna apply some boom boom sauce here. And then we're gonna install it. Now I don't know if you guys noticed, one pin has a boot, a little rubber here. The other one will not have it. So you have to make sure that the one that has a boot goes back where it came out of. Okay, so this one here does not have the boot. So we're gonna wipe this down very well. So we have to make sure that our caliper pins slide in and out easily. So that's good right there. So now we're gonna get our brake pads out of the box. Here's the part number. Okay, so as we're handling these pads, we don't want to touch the friction material here. We have to touch the backing plate of the pad. So we're gonna get our pads, springs out of the bag. Okay, so we're gonna apply a little bit of Silk Glide over here before we install the spring. Just like that. We're gonna do the same thing on the other side. Okay. Easy peasy. Okay, so our caliper bracket is prepped. So now let's take it to the vehicle so we can install it. All right, so we're gonna turn the steering knuckle this way. I am going to apply a little bit of anti-seize compound on the hub flange face. Okay, and then we're gonna grab our brake roller. That's the part number right there. Look how nice it looks. Okay, so we're gonna compare it to the old one. Oh no, they sent us the wrong rotors. Oh, dang it. These rotors are too small. Okay. All right, guys. So we got the wrong rotors. I'm gonna call the parts store so they can send us the right ones. All right, guys. So we are back. We got the right rotor from the parts store. Here's the part number. So we waited a little bit. How long has it been? An hour? Yeah. Close to an hour. Yeah. I don't like waiting. I don't like getting the wrong parts because it slows us down. You know, it puts us behind. Come on, Napa, get your stuff together. All right, so here's the right one. Actually, I'm excited because we're gonna make a next video on the next video is gonna be on the Corvette, Chevy Corvette. It's nice car. Maybe we should fix it and tell the customer it's gonna be ready in a year. We can drive it for a full year. It's a nice car. Actually, the owner came from New York, so he drove all the way from New York to bring his vehicle to us. So we appreciate you. You guys will see the video very soon. So let's compare this here. Okay, we got the right rotor. Now, before we install the rotor, I'm going to clean our brake rotor with some brake clean. All right. Okay. Because when they make these rotors, they put some oil on these rotors so they don't rust. So it's always good to clean them with brake clean. So now I'm going to install our brand new rotor, just like that. Now we have Robin on the other side. Robin, can I turn the steering knuckle?
Go ahead.
Okay. We're going to turn it this way, all the way. Now I'm going to install the caliper bracket. We're going to put some boom boom sauce on our caliper bracket bolt, and then we're going to install our caliper bracket that we prepped, just like that right here. All right, so now we're gonna torque the caliper bracket bolts. The torque spec for the caliper bracket bolt is 84 foot-pound. So we're gonna torque this bolt to 84 foot-pound. Right there, I hope you heard the torque wrench click. Nice. Nice. Okay, so now the next step is we're gonna install our brake pads. So we're gonna install this. We're gonna put some boom boom sauce on the pad. Then we're gonna install it right here. Nice. Okay, so we got our pads installed. Okay, we're gonna make sure our caliper pins are sliding in and out easily. So now we're gonna bring down our brake caliper. Perfect. So now I'm gonna clean this a little bit. Okay. And then, so we're gonna grease the brake caliper here. I hope you guys can see this. So we're gonna grip the jaw. We're gonna grease the jaw of the caliper. And then we're gonna grease the pistons. Just like that. This is gonna prevent the brakes from squeaking. So Kyler, if you don't want your brakes to squeak, this is what you do. Yeah. You put some boom boom sauce. All right, nice. So now we're gonna install our caliper pins. Our caliper bolt. We're making progress. We're almost done. Okay. So we're gonna get these bolts snug before we torque them. Now the torque spec for the caliper bolt is 24 foot-pound. So I'm gonna set my torque wrench to 24 foot-pounds, and then we're gonna torque the caliper bolt. Okay, so we're gonna torque the first one right there. I hope you can hear the torque wrench click. That's good. All right, so we're done. So now I'm gonna turn the steering knuckle straight. Now we're gonna reconnect our wheel speed sensor. So before we install the sensor connector, I'm gonna reinstall the axle nut. So we're gonna torque the axle nut to 62 foot-pound. So I have my torque wrench here. I got the torque wrench set up to 62 foot-pound. Did I say 62 or 162? 62? No, it's 162 foot-pounds, not 62. It's 162 foot-pounds. If you torque it to 62, it's going to be under-torqued. Yeah, so we're just going to put that right there to hold the hub. Okay, so once again, I have my torque wrench set up to 162 foot-pound. So we're going to torque this to 162. Right there. I hope you can hear the torque wrench click. Nice. We are good. So now let's install the sensor wire. Okay, so we're gonna make sure that our surface, our friction surface here is clean before we install the tire. Okay, very nice. So you guys saw the wire that I disconnected over here. I mean the bolt that I undid over here that holds the wire of the sensor in place. So I'm gonna tighten this little 8mm bolt that's back here. Nice. Okay, so we can use these little bracket here, or we can use the old ones. So the old ones are still good. So we're going to remove the new ones. We don't need all these brackets because the ones on the truck are still good, so we can reuse them. All right, so this is gonna go right here, I believe. I believe I can fly. I think it was this way. Kyle is laughing at my singing.
I get a copyright strike.
I know. No, we don't want that. We do not want that. Okay, let me go right here. Bam. Okay, and then this is gonna connect to our connector here. Okay, right there. Now I'm gonna zip tie this. The bracket over here that holds the connector up is broken, so I'm gonna have to zip tie this out of the way. And then we're gonna put more zip ties over here. Remember, we had zip ties here. How should I go about this? There were 3 zip ties, so we're gonna put 3 zip ties here. Always put it back the way you found it. That's what my dad used to tell me. When you take something apart, if you still have bolts in your hands, it means you forgot to put it back somewhere. This is gonna go right here. And then this one is gonna go over here. Nice. Perfect. Just like that. Okay. So I'm gonna zip tie this up here. I'm gonna do that off camera. I don't have to show you how I'm gonna zip tie this up, and then we're gonna install the tire. All right, so we got everything put back together. So now we're gonna install the tire. I'm sure when we go on a test drive, the ABS light will be off on this truck. So we're gonna get these nuts snug, and then we're gonna torque these nuts. The torque spec for the tire lug nuts is 100 foot-pounds. Okay, great. So now I'm going to get my jack. We're gonna lower the vehicle. So we're gonna torque these lug nuts. We're gonna crisscross them. And that's good right there. Good. Nice. Now I'm just double checking all of them. I'm going to turn the key on. Before we go on a test drive, we're going to graph our wheel speed sensors. So we're going to go in the ABS control unit. Okay, cameraman Kyler will put this up so you guys can see. So let's go into the ABS. Let's see if we have any codes in the ABS control unit. We're doing a key on, engine off self-test. So no codes present, so that's good. Now let's go to data. We're gonna grab all our O2 sensor data PIDs. I'm gonna graph them. Okay, we have 3 sensors on this one. Yeah, I mean, this is gonna be fixed. I know the issue was the bearing. So I'm gonna put my scan tool down here. You guys will see this. I'm gonna start the engine. Remember, the ABS light was remaining on the dash. Oh, check this out. ABS light went off. If cameraman Kyler can show you guys the dash, as you can see, the ABS light is off. So that's good. This is a good sign already. This tells us that we made the right call. The vehicle is fixed. So I am backing out of the shop. We don't have to go far. Kyler, remember what happened to us last time? Kyler is laughing. We just pulled out of the shop and then the truck started making noise. I thought Kyler was gonna walk to the shop, but we made it back. Actually, I want to mention that the owner of this vehicle, Jose, he takes great care of his truck. Like, we were commenting this truck earlier, cameraman Kyler and I were talking about this. This is a 2004, but it looks nice inside. The body looks in great shape. Good job, Jose. I'm sure you will watch this video. You've done well with this truck. It's a 2004, but it still looks awesome. Yeah, this is fixed. We don't have to go far. We have to come back and diagnose the Corvette. So this is awesome. Actually, it sounds better. What do you think, Kyler? You think it's fixed? Yeah, this is good. We're gonna have another happy customer. Yeah, this is nice. We're gonna drive back to the shop. We will drain the front differential and the rear differential and the transfer case, and then we should be good to go. Yeah, I'm just gonna turn around here. There's no need to go far. Yeah, this is fixed. This is fixed. Let's turn around. Yeah, this is nice. And then you guys will see the graph on the screen here. All our graphs are updating, so which means all our sensors are working, and all our sensors are telling the ABS control unit the wheel speed. So that's good. That is good. So we're gonna drive into our parking lot. We are good to go. Actually, we can just wrap up the video here, right? So let me turn off the engine. Let me turn the key on. I'm gonna scan the ABS control unit one more time. I'm sure there won't be any codes, but let's see if there's something there. Okay, memory codes. Left. Okay, this is a memory code. So we're gonna clear it because it was in the memory of the ABS control unit. Then let's do the key on, engine off, self-test. No codes present. So we're good. We are done, guys. So I'm gonna start the engine one more time. Kyler, if you can show everyone the dash for the last time. As you can see, our ABS light is off. We're good to go. All right, so I'm gonna leave this right over here, guys. I hope you like the video. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you don't like the video, give it a thumb down. But if you do, tell us why so we can make better videos in the future. If this is your first time here, subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you have any comments, questions, criticism, leave them in the comment box. If you have a question or a comment For our new team member, Robin, let us know in the comment section. If you have a comment and a question for cameraman Kyler, let us know in the comment section. Thanks, cameraman Kyler, for being here. See you guys next time.